Hello, welcome to another episode of Sound Talk Show. Today we're going to talk about speed typing. So I've been studying speed typing, doing research on it in the past 2 days, 2 or 3. It's a topic I have always been interested. So let's talk about that. Let me tell you guys what I found out. Okay, video check, audio check, I am alive. Okay, let's go. So introduce my keyboard. This is Glove80, the most fantastic, my man, Glove80. This is ultimate hacking keyboard. I have too many keyboards, so I use this one for keyboard macros, most fantastic. If you are here, say hi. Hello, I don't know. And this is Svalboard. I love it very much. I'm still learning it, so I don't have anything new. So I'll show you guys down the road. Glove. This is Svalboard. Svalboard. Mechanic switches. You know, this is one of the fancy keyboards. So of course there's two of them. Okay, so that's about my keyboard. I have video reviews. You can search YouTube. You'll find it. So now let's go to the main topic, the keyboard speed typing. How fast can you type? 100 word per minute, 200 word, or 300 word per minute. There's actually YouTube, you can see 300 word per minute, but with conditions. Okay, so that's the topic I want to talk about. So question, do you think Glove80 usable by people who are used to ISO layout as opposed to American? Yes, of course. It's all about habit. Whenever you adapt a new keyboard, there's always a habit issue. Same thing with keyboard layout, Vorak, QWERTY, Vorak, you know. And also, you know, so it's all about habit. So same thing with Emacs. You know, whenever Emacs, you know, you change your key binding, you can't get used to it. And for many people who has been using Emacs for 10 years, you know, they just not gonna change because the muscle is already built in. Just like when you ride a bicycle, you know, there's a video, a bicycle, they change the direction of the turn so that when you turn this way, it actually turn right. So your brain is all fucked up. So it's a habit. So when you first adopt something new, there's a strong resistance. You just, I don't want to, you know, because it's painful, because it's like you have to start over. It's worse because you already, you know, you try to type something this way, and now this, you always make a mistake because now this keyboard is new. So there's a habit. For example, one of the habit about keyboard is the, one of the habit about keyboard is the arrangement of the page up and page down, home and key. You know, that was a thing. So let me show you where. No more keyboard. So I forgot where I have it. So which section? So let me talk about that a bit. So answer to your question, you know, ISO, you are talking about ISO layout. So ISO layout, first of all, that is the so let's have a look. Keycaps, no, not keycaps, keypads, fun history, ergos, key switch, design, keycaps, special keys. So this is all about special keys. The fat enter key, you know, this is ISO, the fat enter. American users got the thin strip enter, and the Japanese got this. Okay, medium fat. Then there's extremely thin fat key, like almost vertical. I mean vertical return, like this one. You know, the ISO enter 2U backspace. So anyway, so ISO layout is like that. Also, ISO layout, ISO is a standard, you know, international standard organization, something. So in Europe, they have this so-called ISO layout, which they have an extra key besides the Z. So let me, so, you know, today is random, so let me talk about these things. But the main thing I want to talk about is the supposed fastest typer, Wrona. Okay, there's quite a story, let me tell you. Crackpot theory of speed typer. You know, That's my opinion, but I'll tell you guys. So ISO layout. So let me show you what is ISO layout for those of you who don't know out there, Americans. So you want to look at ISO layout. So you have to look at international. Okay, so we got some. Okay, so first of all, copy that. So I'm using Emacs. So soft like keys most efficient. Let's show, close that. Show this is today's talk show, and paste the link there. Fat enter key. So we have a record of what we talked about. So now let's look up ISO layout. So go to search, search for Apple keyboard. I know where it is to look. So, you know, many interesting topics. Apple keyboard touch bar, the most idiotic thing. When Steve is gone, Steve Jobs will never create this, but he's dead, then the other people, they don't know what they're doing. They become tech geekers. You see, Steve Jobs, he has created massive amount of innovation, not just in computing, in computing peripherals, in you know, especially the graphical user interface. That's a revolution. Okay, he is the entrepreneur. He take inventions that would otherwise be buried. He take it, he put it into market successfully. He has the knack to make it successful. You know, like iPhone. Microsoft created phone, you know, pocket phone, but it failed. But Steve Jobs, when it comes to Steve Jobs, it become revolution. Then everyone is starting, you know, everyone has a phone now. Steve Jobs, lots of things, CD-ROM, DVD-ROM, wireless. Apple is leading by like 3-5 years. You know, after Apple did it for 5 years, then the PC, the Windows, started to have it as standard. Then after another few years, the Linux idiots start to have that, such as USB 3 or whatever, or wireless connect, you know, Wi-Fi, USB, Bluetooth. You know, Linux is, you know, so Apple did it. Then after usually 3 years, then it became standard on the Microsoft Word. Then another 2 years, then it becomes standard on Linux. You know, so I digressed into Apple. So let's go back to ISO keyboard layout. Yeah. So I want to show you guys ISO keyboard layout. Okay. So where is it? So you need to go to Apple keyboard. I know where it is. Okay, so actually go to layout. Okay, so everything you want to know about layout design, then you go to international layout. Okay, then you go to, so this here's a bunch of international layout: United Kingdom, Portuguese, Dutch, Belgium, Czech, Danish, Estonian, Iceland, Iceland. And look at this funny thing. You see, this is Norway layout, Norway. So you got a key here. It's got this bunch of symbols, you know, section sign, 1.5, 1/2 sign, and section sign again, and vertical bar section, you know. Section, you know, many of these symbols and layout is kind of idiotic because they are almost never used. But however, they became standard. You know, so when you look at the different layout in a word, most of them are like extremely incompetent. You know, yesterday, the last episode live stream, we talked about Russian keyboard, like extreme incompetent. Okay, so let's go back to ISO layout. I wanted to mention ISO layout. Okay, so in fact, actually, you can see it here. You see this Danish keyboard. You see A key here and Z, or Z, as Canadian would say it, Z. Then to the left of Z, you have this extra key. So this is ISO layout. Look at the fat enter. This is ISO. Foreign to Americans. You see fat enter, an extra key to the left of Z. So all these are ISO layout. So typically it's used in Europe. So, but I want to show you actual keyboards of ISO layout. There it is, okay? So let me show you a few actual keyboard of ISO layout, not just diagrams. Okay, so here we have Canadian multilingual layout. You know, some of these layouts are designed for to type multiple languages. For example, the Canadian multilingual is for both English and French. You know, French is an issue in Canada. They need to go bilingual. So Canadian, so there it is, okay? So let me show you a few actual keyboards. So this is on a Mac laptop, Apple's Mac laptop for Europe. So they are using by default. So you have you see, this is very interesting physical keyboard. This is Apple's MacBook Pro in Canada. And you can see the layout is ISO. You got this vertical enter key. Then you see this extra key to the left of Z. And moreover, you see these strange symbols. You see, escape, they use by the way, there's also a standard for the graphical symbols for each of these keys. So you can, and this keyboard is using it. So you can see the escape key is a circle with a northwest arrow, like escape, the circle, you see. And the shift key, the caps lock and shift key, okay, caps lock, that's new. The shift, up arrow, that's common. But then you can see the helm, how do you call this? The steering wheel for ships. Helm, yeah, for the control key, and this option key. Anyway, so that's interesting. Okay, so this is ISO layout, and here is another ISO layout Apple keyboard. This is for what language? Oh, also Canadian multilingual. So it's used in eastern part of Canada, Quebecois. That's where I lived when I was a teen, when I was 16 or so, for 3 years. So that's about ISO keyboards. And so your question is, can you get used to the Glove80? Yeah, it's just a matter of habit, In fact, yeah, anyway, so that's about that. So next question. Good evening. Hidamariska fan. Do you think an introduction to programming in Emacs Lisp? That's the worst book. Okay, before I even finish reading your question. By Free Software Foundation is a good way to learn Emacs Lisp. I want to get good at elisp but don't know where to start. Okay, if you want to learn Emacs Lisp, I would say the best resource online or anywhere, any book, is just my Emacs Lisp tutorial. Okay. If you ask my true opinion, there's nothing remotely comparable. Because Emacs is not a popular language, okay? But I have, tutorial for JavaScript, for Golang, and there are comparable, very good tutorials. So, but for Emacs Lisp, my tutorial, I would say, is the only one that's the best by a magnitude, okay? Because basically there's nothing else, okay? There are some books written 20 years ago, and there's a couple books I believe published in the past 10 years. I haven't looked into them, but the book you mentioned, okay? So you can search my website, Emacs book. Let's see, elisp book. So Lisp book. Okay, actually I have an article on that. He passed away, that guy, Introduction to Programming in Emacs Lisp. He passed away. His name is Bob. Okay, so where do I find it? Okay, let's go to Emacs tutorial. and go to Emacs Lisp miscellaneous technical essays, Emacs miscellaneous index. Okay, let's look at those here. His name is Bob. He passed away about 5 years ago. Okay, here is the old Asian Lisp manual. Here is how to learn Emacs Lisp. Here is should beginner programmer learn Emacs Lisp. Here is author of Intro to Emacs Lisp, Robert J. Chasha. He passed away, and I wrote a, so here is his book, Emacs Lisp, an introduction. Okay, so this book, so here is how this guy looks like. He's an open source phonetic, part of the very early phonetics. So my opinion on this book, so this book is good if you never, ever programmed before. You don't know what a variable means. You don't know what a function means. You don't know. You don't know what the fuck they are. This is a good book, okay? This is the best book for that. You learn Emacs Lisp from, and programming from the ground up, okay? So this is a good book for that. It's free online. In fact, it's bundled with every Emacs. So you just press Control-H-I, okay? Then you go down, tap. There it is, Emacs Lisp intro. Okay, so you can see an introduction. You can read it online. It's bundled in with every Emacs. So you can buy a copy to support Richard Stallman, to give money to Richard Stallman. Basically, your money just goes to him, most of it, or half of it. Okay, so it's a good book if you don't know any programming at all. You don't know what's a variable. You don't know what's a function. Now, if you are a programmer already, for example, maybe you know some Java or JavaScript or C, maybe you know some Python, PHP, even just a bit, PHP, Bash, okay? This is not a good book because it will spend 10 pages, 10, to explain what's a variable. To how to set a variable. You'll have to scan 10 pages. Then you find, oh, this is how you set a variable in Emacs Lisp. Okay. Then next page about something about what's the difference between global variable and local. Another 10 pages. So not a good book. I tried to read it when I began learning Emacs Lisp in 2006. I thought I'll just scan it, the technique of scanning, because you can just, it's a book. So you can, I already know this scan. But it becomes so tiresome. Like you don't learn anything. Like in Emacs Lisp, how do you create a variable? Oh God, scan. So I would not recommend it, okay? So that's the situation. That's my review of this book, the nature of this book. But if you don't know any programming at all, this is a good, it's a good introduction. Very verbose, okay? I have some experience in programming, Bash, PowerShell, C++, okay? Yeah, then this, but especially C++, that's a hardcore thing. So this book will be too verbose for you, but you can try to read it, verify to see if you agree with my opinion. Okay, so that's about that. And so let me peddle my Emacs Lisp tutorial. You'll find, this is the best one out there, including all printed ones. Okay, it's the most condensed and the most concise, and yet it's the most easy to understand. And not assuming you are 3 years old. That's like a lot of web tutorials today written by Pajit. Pajit. Like they have to hold your hand. Oh, let me explain what's a directory. You have to, or like the JavaScript word where, oh, you just run this and your npm and 1,000 things come to your directory. And next, oh, you just do this, don't ask why, just type this and it'll work. Oh, it works. Okay, that's the situation of the Zoomer situation. So most concise, most precise, and also correct, and comprehensive. It covers Lisp, all the fundamentals of Lisp. Then it covers all the fundamentals of Emacs Lisp, such as a cruiser. What's a cruiser? What's a region? What's a buffer? In other languages, in Java, JavaScript, we don't have that because this is editor. This is programming editor. You have buffer, you have cruiser, you have region, you have region, active region, and so on. So, things like that. So then you can move on how to write a major mod. Okay. So in fact, I have done there's one or two tutorials learning Emacs Lisp from the ground up, several, so you can check them out. I find myself always have to repeat and repeat and repeat, everything, almost every question is frequently asked question. But I have realized that's life, it doesn't just happen to me. Here's an interesting story. When about 15 years ago, I started to see, Emacs questions. Why are these people asking frequently asked questions? Jesus, like all of a sudden I felt, these questions in Reddit, Emacs community, it's like basic questions. Jesus, didn't you guys just read? This been asked and answered 1,000 times. Then next year same, and then eventually I realized that's life. That's the cycle of life. It just means I'm getting old. Younger people, they come up, they weren't born, young people. And then I thought about, that's what teachers do. Professors at university, they have to teach calculus, the same thing every year for the whole their life. It just means you are old. So so let's talk about keyboard. Okay, so let me show you guys this. Where is it? So Talk Show. I wanted to talk about keyboard. So first of all, the crackpot theories of speed typer, Wrona. So Wrona is one of the fastest typists, on record, because he became famous in 2010 from a competition so-called Ultimate Typing Championship, which is created by the company Das Keyboard, the keyboard maker which is one of the early mechanical keyboard maker. Actually, they have a Wikipedia entry for them. So this used to be popular among programmers, but not gamers, because they are different community back then, starting in 2005. So anyway, Das Keyboard. So the Das Keyboard in 2010 created a competition called Ultimate Typing Championship. It's like one-off. It's a marketing thing. So because, they create this so that people will, know about Das Keyboard and will make them more money. So Sean was, he's feeling down. He was anyway. So he joined and he won. So anyway, he became very famous. He won this so-called Ultimate Typing Championship 2010. There's no such championship until 10 years later, 2020. Actually, I just discovered yesterday when I was doing research on the speed typing. So anyway, so Sean became very popular. And he wrote a book like 3 years ago. You go to his YouTube, Sean Wrona, He also got a website. You can search and you'll find it. And he started to write a book, and he started to create a video. This video came out in, let me show you, 2022, 2 years ago. How to type, okay? This, how to type keyboard geometry by Wrona, okay? So in this video, he started, basically crackpot theories, okay? Wrona, he's a QWERTY typist. He doesn't go for this ergonomic Batman shit. He like dismiss them, and he doesn't go for the the Vorak. Let me show you for those people you don't know. Okay, so keyboard layout, so design keycaps, special keys layout. So I talked about this yesterday, previous 2 or 3 videos. Okay, so you have keyboard layouts, QWERTY, Vorak, Cormac, different arrangement of the letters. Okay, so many of them, Vorak, Cormac, and Workman, Norman, they are more efficient. Okay, so the Wrona guy doesn't care about it. He think, he like dismiss it. But however, he has a stance. Okay, here's him starting to talk, okay? So that's him when he's younger, and he's talking about his theory, okay? But basically, he dismissed all this Vorak, all this Cormac, and he also the conventional typing methodology of putting your hands on the home row, the ASDF, JKL, he diss it, okay? He like he holds contempt of that methodology. So basically, he's saying that you should put your hand in this upper row, and then the right hand should be also upper row, but then the thumb can be used for the N key, or he's trying to he peddles his own idiosyncratic theory. Meanwhile, he dismissed the standard, home row approach, and also dismissed Vorak, dismissed Cormac, crackpot. Okay, that's a crackpot theory. It's basically untruth. Okay, I don't reckon. So, in my opinion, it's crackpot. So, but he's the world fastest typer. So you are not. How can you question him? Obviously, you would trust him, right? No. Right now he's not. Okay, he's not the world champion anymore, because, well, anyway, that goes into another story. Because when there's money, for example, gaming. In the 1990s, nobody cares about gaming, but beginning around 2010, there's millions dollars prize for gaming. Gaming become a thing. It actually become an industry, bigger than movie and so on. But the thing is, there's a gaming competition, the World of Warcraft and lots of others. If you become a champion, you win millions. You become a millionaire. So once you have money, you got real competitors. Okay, you start to have real competitors. But for typing, fast typing, nobody care about that. Okay, and it's actually not that useful. Touch type is a very useful skill for anyone who uses a computer. Touch typing, okay, but speed typing, touch typing beyond, let's say 100 words per minute, it's useless, basically, okay? It's more or less useless. Touch typing is a practical skill, but beyond 100 words per minute, like in a competitive way, it's basically useless. There's also no prize, no money, except, this marketing effort by Das Keyboard. In 2010, you win like $2,000, okay? then just $2,000. So it's not a it's not a thing. If speed typing become a championship, with millions of dollars like gaming, then you will actually see real competitors. Okay, right now it's like just among a few nerds. I can type faster than you. They have a leaderboard. They are usually young, teenagers or in college. They got nothing to do. But if it became a thing with millions of dollar price, you will see, it's in my opinion, the top players will all be using Wrona Comac, okay? None of the quality shit. And his crackpot theory about how you should stick with quality, or he kind of tried to imply that. He's like telling him his story, anyway. So that's my opinion. That's my criticism on his theory about typing. Okay, Wrona. He's a great guy, but it's just that his theory, I think it's like very questionable. But I think he's a great person. Okay, I want to make sure I don't get misunderstood. Okay, I think he's a great person. He's like a bit younger than me. He's kind of like a bit younger than me. He's a classic nerd, like the nerds I know in 90s. You don't see that much anymore. So and also one of his reply on YouTube is very informative. Okay, I've kind of copied onto my my website. You can also read the original on YouTube. If he wants me to remove it, I'll remove it. So, but anyway, so this article by him is very informative because this is long-winded, like you don't see that anymore. Like one of the things he say funny is that, like today's generation, all they say, let me read it. All they say is Poggers based. Like you guys Zoomers. All you are capable of saying is based, Poggers. You can't write one full sentence. These Zoomer idiots. So anyway, this kind of reply is very informative. He talks about his life, and he also talks about the speed typing scene. Who are the other great speed typers? Okay, very informative. Okay, that's about this Sean. Okay, now let me talk about. Meanwhile, there's another guy. Okay, there is this guy, Carl Jobst, a Zoomer grifter. Okay, let me show you. This is a Zoomer generation grifter, Carl Jobst. I discovered yesterday. Okay, so look at his YouTube. So his theme seems to be debunking other things. Okay, 26 years record. Okay, more legal action, whatever that is. What is cheater exposed? Okay. 250 IQ fake, he seems, his knack seems to be like expose other fakes. Okay, this is so bad. Look at this Zoomer generation fox, with this face, this drama. This is a pictorial version of clickbait. Like, oh my god, I discovered this greatest thing, fucking Zoomer fox. Okay, so he created a video that badmouth the world's fastest typist Barbara Blackburn. Barbara Blackburn passed away in 2008. She's the many previous generation. So let me show you his YouTube, this video, okay? So was she lying? Look at this dramatic fuck, this Carl Jobst. The biggest scandal in speed typing history. What a fucking scum this Carl Jobst is. Okay, 1 million views. Okay, 2023. I watched it. It's 20 minutes. Okay, so in this video he discuss how the frequently quoted that Barbara Blackburn types 220 words per minute is fake. That's the way he kind of say that. Okay, he's fake, and how it is his Guinness World Record is fake, and blah blah blah. Basically, he just badmouthed Barbara Blackburn. So in his research, he actually spent time to dig into all the Guinness record to see where it says what. It's reasonable research, okay, and what he say is not necessarily false. Okay, it's not necessarily false, but however, the overall intonation, the overall the gist of his what he's trying to say is basically Barbara Blackburn is a shield. Okay, is like a fraud or shield or lying. He's saying Barbara is lying. What a scum this Carl Jobst is. Okay, which is false. Overall, his video is just false. Why does he do that? Because he's a Zoomer. He's going for the money. 1 million subscribers, these fuckface Zoomers. So Barbara, is he really fake? No. What about, 212 words per minute? That's real. You have to understand, back 20 years ago, even just 20 years ago, it's not like today where you have internet, you have Wikipedia, you have Pocket, a computer phone in your pocket. You can stream anytime, anywhere in the world. You can verify information so easily. Wikipedia, that's not like that during Barbara's time in the 1950s or 1980s. Okay, you don't have internet like that. So when there's a the 220 words, she it's genuine. She's not a liar. She's not like a scammer or shield like many of these Zoomers are. Of course, she promotes herself. She and she types really fast. So but what does it mean? The world's fastest typing. Back then, there's no such thing. I mean, you can't. There's no internet. There's no, global. So. Most people don't even know there's a typing competition, or you have to travel, this. But so in general, is Barbara lying or a fraud? No, she's not. And does she really type that fast? Yes, she's one of the world's toppest at the time, as far as media knows. They are probably a lot more fastest, but you don't know who they are. It's not like today, internet. You always see. Like unknown people, they suddenly become very famous because they did this, they are skilled at this or that, or singing, lots of singing too. This Zoomer idiots, Carl Jobst, okay, I find them disgusting and brainless. To him, he probably thought, this is my greatest research. Fucking idiots. Okay, that's about him. Okay, now let me make a disclaimer. I don't know who he is. Okay, that's just my criticism on his video on Barbara Blackburn. Okay, I don't know who he is. I don't know. I'm not saying he's lying. He's just shield. Because he wants to be popular, just like most of these YouTubers. Okay, I think maybe that's it for today, and should not get too angry. And let me read the comments and let me answer the comments, and maybe that'll be it. Okay. Keyboard big fat enter key. Okay. Then character frequency plot. Now there's a new feature. Select all. Okay. Select all. Delete. Actually shrink it. Now type something and you can see the frequency plotted immediately in real time. Okay. Now it supports JSON output. So if you are doing any research about character frequency, even Russian or Japanese or Chinese or Arabic, you can just paste it, copy and paste it here, and it'll show in real time. And you can also get the JSON output in case you want to put it into JavaScript or whatever. So you can turn it off. They also update in real time. It updates in real time. Okay, that's new. And that's about it. Okay, so about speed typing, so here's some introduction. Today you'll see a lot videos on it. There are a few things important to know. That 15 seconds speed test is very different from 30 seconds or 1 minute or 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It's like running, the duration is very significant, how fast you can run. The longer is significantly slower. So if you search YouTube, you'll see a lot of 200 word per minute, word record, 250. That's mostly all bullshit, because there are some of them even 5 seconds. 5 seconds. 1,000 word per minute. Okay, that's bullshit. So if you really want to look into, the actual speed of the top typist, you have to check for their 1 minute or 5 minutes, that. But vast majority on YouTube or the YouTube shorts is just like 15 seconds. So the other thing important is that the text used is also important, depending on, like there's a website, Monkey Type. So let's go to Monkey Type. Let me demo. So I'm updating my website. So here's a bunch of tutorials, and here is who wants to race me? So speed, typing speed test site, Monkey Type. Okay, so Monkey Type, by default, Monkey Type is nasty. By default, they just show a list of random, the most frequently used top 200 or 300 English words. No punctuation, no capital letters. It's just the random words, the simplest, easy to type words, so that it's pleasure when you type it, because you don't have to type any capital letter. It's not even a sentence, just random, easy words. So if you do that, you get the highest word per minute. Typically, by the way, word per minute means, each word means basically 5 keystrokes, okay? So if you have 10 words per minute, that means 50 characters per minute, okay? So anyway, so, they use the simplest thing, so you get pleasure, kind of like a game, addictive. So you feel good. So almost all the YouTube videos is using Monkey Type. Monkey Type, 15 seconds, then you get a high word per minute. I'm drinking coffee and honey and milk. Okay, let's type the. Okay, let's see. fuck 77. Okay, so that's my typing speed. So let me answer. So that's about typing, and so anyway, yeah. And this girl is really funny. You should check it out. This baby shark. Okay, I think that's it. So let's check the questions. Modern solutions. Hello. Yeah, I don't know about hot swappable keyboards. I don't really know much about it. Hi, Echo. Hi, Himata. Hidamaris. I never learned to write properly because I use computers. Jobst is a speed runner which got hung up on some cheats. Oh, interesting. 10 years ago, we had Wikipedia. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Pay me, go to PayPal. Okay. You go to solid info, my website, you can easily find my PayPal, PayPal, or you can Patreon me. I think that's it. Bye. Jobs has genuine world-class skills in GoldenEye on Nintendo 64. Oh, interesting.